Hi, this is Raymond Rose. Thanks for joining me on today's podcast. We're going to talk about walking and why I want you tomorrow to walk for 5 minutes. There's so much good to be had from walking. Let's talk about the benefits. First of all, what's not to like about walking? It's free, it's easy to do, it's easy on your joints, and there's no question that walking is good for your overall body because number one, it's going to improve your circulation. Walking wards off heart disease. It brings up your heart rate. It lowers your blood pressure. It strengthens your heart. It's wonderful. Number two, it's wonderful for your bones too because walking can stop the loss of bone mass. Number three, you'll enjoy a longer life. Research finds that people who exercise regularly extend their lifespan. Number four, walking lightens your mood because it releases natural pain killing endorphins to the body, which benefits you. Number five, you're going to lose weight. A brisk 30-minute walk burns about 200 calories, and over time, calories burned can lead to pounds dropped. Number six, it strengthens your muscles because walking tones your legs. Number seven, you'll have better sleep at night because studies show that people that walk 30 to 60 minutes a day live healthier and sleep better. Number eight, it supports your joints because the majority of joint cartilage has no direct blood supply, but when you're walking, that solves that problem. Number nine, you'll improve your breathing because when you're walking, your breathing rate increases. It causes oxygen to travel faster through your bloodstream, and it helps eliminate waste products and improves your energy level. And then lastly, it slows your mental decline. Studies show that when you're walking, those that walk 30 minutes a day have half the incidence of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. So there you go. There's 10 reasons why you should be walking. Before we get into why I want you to walk 5 minutes tomorrow, let's take a quick break so I can tell you that all of my podcasts are about living a simple and focused life and reducing stress. I have 4 areas of my life that are my priorities every day. I would think that they're your priorities too. Number one, I want to have excellent health. Number two, I want to have lots of free time. Number three, I want to have really smarts regarding money. And number four, I want to have good habits in my life. So every day I make a podcast that talks about those 4 topics. Please consider subscribing to my daily podcast by tapping the black button on the screen that says subscribe. I think you'll get lots of excellent tips from me every day. So now let's talk about why do I want you to walk tomorrow for 5 minutes? Well, I'm going to tell you the journey that I had about 11 years ago, and I was exactly where you might be today. I had so many things going on in my life. There was always an excuse for me not to get out and get some exercise. And after I read the information that I just shared with you now regarding all those 10 levels of importance of walking, I said to myself, geez, just walk 5 minutes tomorrow. What's the worst that's going to happen? If I don't have 5 minutes in my life, I've got a big problem. So of course I walked 5 minutes there, and then the next couple of days I said, okay, let's bring it up to 8 minutes, and then bring it up to 10 minutes. And next thing you know, I was walking 30 minutes every day. And here's what one of my secrets was. I found out that instead of, I had a regular morning routine. I'd get up, I'd have my cup of coffee, I'd look at my to-do list, I'd check my email, maybe make a phone call or listen to some voice messages or what have you. And I said, why am I doing that sitting down having a coffee? Why don't I do that while I'm walking? I put my iPhone on the largest font possible. So I was walking for 30 minutes when I was just reading my email or listening to my voicemail or whatever. So in other words, I wasn't sitting down. I was doing the exact same thing, but I was doing it while I was walking. So that was wonderful. I did it during the spring and summer months. It started getting a little bit colder, and then all of a sudden I had an excuse. And then I'll tell you exactly what I did next. I have a fairly good sized basement, nothing unusually large, but I had a good sized basement. And I made room in my basement. So every single morning, I know this sounds really awkward, really odd, but I went downstairs and I made my cup of coffee and I went down in my basement and I started walking in a reasonably large oval area. And I was doing all those things I was just telling you, checking my email or maybe sending a text message or, all the different things that you might be doing in the morning while you're sitting down. But I was doing it when I was walking. So then I said to myself, I started using the health app on my iPhone, which is the thing that's tracking your steps. Next thing you know, I'm walking a mile in my basement in the morning. I'm scratching my head and saying, this is unbelievable. Then I'm walking 2 miles. Now, fast forward, and here it is. I'm walking an average. I know this sounds crazy. I'm walking in about 4 miles a day in my basement. And you're ready for this? Why I really love it? Because number one, there's no excuses. I get up in the morning, and if I'm up at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock or whatever, I make my coffee, I go down in my basement. Number two, I don't care what the weather is. If it's hot, if it's cold, if it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's chilly, doesn't matter. I'm in my basement, so I get up in the morning, make my coffee, put my sneakers on, grab my iPhone. I have I have one of those little portable power banks that I plug my phone in, and you know what? I start to walk, and now I'm walking 3, 4, 5 miles a day, and I'm multitasking, but in a simple way. I know a lot of people say don't multitask, but I'm multitasking in a simple way. I've got no excuses, and here I am. I've never been healthier. I walk with a great pace, and that's not to say that. And one other tip I would give you is, the old days, 5, 10, 15 years ago, one of my friends might say, hey, let's go out for a coffee, or let's sit down and let's grab a cup of tea and catch up on what's going on with each other's lives or whatever. Now it's like, listen, I don't want to grab a coffee or tea with you. If you really want to catch up, I'll meet you at one of the little hiking trails or one of the walking trails along the river or whatever. And the point being is, this all started off with me with a 5 minute walk, and I'm challenging you to try to do the exact same thing. Don't make an excuse that you don't have the time. Don't make an excuse that it's not convenient. I just showed you exactly how to start the process, because if you listen to the first half of this podcast, I just gave you 10 really intelligent reasons why walking is good for you. And let's be clear, the reason why you do everything in your life, if you have an occupation or you're sharing time with your loved ones or all those things, you're doing it because, I'm presuming you're doing it because you want to live a long, happy, healthy life, that you don't have pain or disease in your body. You're sure you don't want to be getting a knee replacement or a hip replacement or any of those things. And walking, like I said, it's simple, it's free, and it's only going to improve your health. So there you go. There's my thoughts about why you should be walking. I'm hoping that you enjoyed this podcast. Before we go, I've got two quick things. Number one, please take a moment and critique me. Down in the comment section below, I'm new to podcasting. Let me know if you found interest in this. If you did, please consider hitting the thumbs up button to like this podcast, and maybe sharing this podcast with one of your loved ones, coworkers, friends, or whatever. So that's it for today. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate your support. This is Raymond Rose. I hope you'll tune in tomorrow. Thanks.